Fourth quarter stock market numbers start out strong, job numbers not so much. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, Joe Werbit coming at you. And as you can see from this chart, the fourth quarter numbers for the stock market have started out strong, just like I predicted. We're seeing 2 to 3% returns between the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. As I've been saying for weeks, I believe the fourth quarter is going to be a strong finish. What I'm hoping we're going to see is the returns we didn't get in the third quarter, plus great returns in the fourth quarter. 2021 could end up being a record year for the markets. As for the job markets, it's a mixed bag. We're seeing 10.3 million job openings, the highest we've seen since 2000. At the same time, between August and September, over 4.3 million people quit their job. Now remember, if you quit your job, you don't go on unemployment. So while all of this is going on, record numbers of people leaving their job, record numbers of job openings, we've actually seen unemployment fall to 4.8%. We haven't seen a rate this low since early 2018. So we're seeing some very interesting statistics coming out of here. Record number of job openings while unemployment is heading back to where it was pre-pandemic levels. Where are all the workers? Unfortunately, the answer is not simple, and we see around 7 to 8 different areas that are actually affecting this record number of job openings. I'm going to go through them. Hopefully this will help you make sense of this entire craziness that we're seeing around us today. Let's start off with the retirees. We've seen the stock market climb over 30% year over year, and that has driven a lot of people to retire earlier than they thought they were going to. Here we can see that year over year, about 3.5 million people have retired. That's over double. In any normal year, we only see about 1.5 million people retire. So there's 3.5 million people who are never going to work again and never take over those jobs. At the same time, because there's such a high demand for jobs, we're seeing minimum wage rise across America. Amazon has raised their starting wage to $15 an hour. So if you are in a position that's paying $7, $8, $9 an hour, you're not going back there. So you've more than likely quit your job to move to a higher paying job. So that doesn't mean that out of that 4.3 million people that quit, that doesn't mean those people aren't working. They may very well have moved to a higher paying job. Another area we're seeing a shortage is in childcare workers. We're actually seeing 10% less workers in the childcare industry, and at the same time, a 10% increase in childcare cost. So that individual who was on the fence about whether they should stay home or whether they should work, they're actually just staying home. They have extra savings at home. Childcare expenses have gone through the roof, so they've just decided, I'm not going to work. So we're seeing a lot of mothers stay home from their jobs and actually be there to raise their kids. We're seeing people just say, you know what, we're just going to stay home with the kids until they start kindergarten. Immigrant workers have actually declined because we've seen borders close, which have not allowed us to bring in as many people from overseas to do jobs. And we don't know when that's going to open back up again. So we could see a deficit in immigrant workers for years to come. And a lot of these people have left jobs and started their own companies. There was a massive amount of bailout money out there. People received extra income during the pandemic, and they're seeing this as an opportunity to, number one, not return to the jobs that they didn't enjoy. Number two, not have to take the low pay they were getting before. And number three, it's giving them the chance to start their own company. So we're seeing record numbers of new companies forming. Those people who are starting new companies, if those companies are successful, they're not going to go back to fill in those jobs that we saw before. Also, the high level of savings is keeping a lot of people from going back to work. We've seen individual family savings climb to $1.7 trillion and increase 21% year over year. This is some of the highest savings rates we've seen in this country. So people are feeling wealthier. So if you had two people who were working before and one of them didn't enjoy their job and maybe their pay wasn't there, it's just telling them, maybe I'm just going to stay home and we're going to enjoy this extra savings and we won't have to work as hard. Some people are just quitting and taking 3-6 months off so they can travel the world or they can do things that they hadn't had opportunity to do before. But now that their savings rates are high, they're taking that opportunity, which this goes hand in hand with people just being disenfranchised. They didn't enjoy their jobs before. Mortgage rates have come down, which means their living expenses have come down. So they've been able to refinance. And when you put into account lower mortgage expenses and higher savings rates, that means people just aren't going to go back to work anytime soon until those savings rates are depleted and they feel like they have to earn extra money. Around 2.5 million people are still saying that they're not working because of COVID. Either they're sick and they can't go back to work, or they're afraid to go back to work because they think they're going to get sick, or they're just staying home to take care of a loved one who is sick from COVID. So there's an extra 2.5 million people who aren't going back anytime soon. And one of the areas we're pretty certain is not the cause of this lost worker is the $600 extra money from unemployment. That ended in over 50% of the states in the midsummer, and then it ended for the rest of the states in September. So we're coming into the end of October. No one is getting the extra money from unemployment, and we're still seeing people not return to work. This may be the new norm for a while. So what are companies going to do? Well, they're going to have to adapt. They're going to have to add in new technologies. The restaurant workers are going to have to add in point of sale where the person can check out for themselves. The grocery stores will have to add in more self-checkout areas. A lot of companies are going to up their technology, which will help them in the short term, but this will definitely hurt those individuals who may want to come back in 6 months to a year. Those jobs may not be there anymore. So I don't think we're going to see this job opening of 10 million jobs be filled in the next 3 to 6 months. I think what's going to happen, the companies are going to have to figure out a way to do more with less. I actually think this is a good thing. I think we're going to see people getting paid a little bit more. And at the same time, these paychecks have gone up. We're seeing record profits across the board in small, medium, and large size companies. So it's not hurting the bottom line. So that means the lower earning individuals are going to get paid more. They're going to have more money. They're going to put that money right back into the economy, which is going to come back around and help those companies. I think this is a positive. I think this is going to benefit the economy heading into 2022. I'm excited about this. I don't see this as a big negative. Let's see what happens into 2022. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think these jobs are going to disappear? Do you think people are just going to decide, hey, they want to go back to work and they're tired of staying home? Do you think the savings rates will begin to decline as these people aren't earning as much money? Or is the pay raise that we're seeing across the board going to be sufficient to keep these workers at home? Hey, if more mothers get to stay home or more fathers get to stay home and raise their kids, that's a good thing as well. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to see future videos. Comment down below what you think of my questions. Let me know what you want to see in future videos, and I'll see you next week.